I wouldn't even necessarily look for high performers or really sales trained people, because a lot of times I was one of them myself later in my sales career when I was younger, where they can be a bit of a diva. They can, be harder to maintain. You have to give them a bigger comp plan. You have to pay them more, whatever it might be, right? A lot of times, like, I want the person who may not have the experience, but is hungry and is coachable. The most important metrics to see somebody's future, if they're going to be successful in sales and in business as well, if they're hungry because they have that drive to keep going, they're not going to be satisfied. And also, if they're coachable, are they going to listen? Do they think they know it all? Are they going to be willing to change their behaviors, their patterns, their approaches if we correct them on it? Coachability and hunger, I think, are even more important than somebody who's very talented. I have a decade of sales experience. Okay, that's great, but it's going to be difficult to fit that person into the team culture. And, can somebody be more naturally inclined to be better at sales? Absolutely. I think I'm one of those people. You see a lot of sales trainers, even some of the bigger names that you probably recognize, would tell you, I was born an introvert, or I was born not good at sales. I'm not like that at all. I don't know if those guys are being genuine or not. I can directly tell you, I've always had the gift of the gab, or just genuinely been okay conversating, or been more social. I've always had that. Now, on a personal side, am I an introvert? I mean, if that's even a thing, sure. I'm definitely more introverted than extrovert, if you want to call it that. I think we all have the potential to introvert and extrovert. I think it's more of a choice and more of where our baselines are. So I don't really subscribe to those just ideologies. But, speaking of sales, of course, I would tell you I was more naturally inclined. Also, does the fact that I speak 3 languages fluently and a couple others broken help? I think so. English is my 3rd language. The reason I brought that up, speaking multiple languages and having a natural inclination towards being good at sales, is because I believe being great at sales, being just a great communicator at a high level, whatever you want to apply that towards, sales, being an entrepreneur, leading a team, whatever it is, it's all sales at the end of the day, relationships, whatever you want to apply it to. Being a great closer or a great communicator on all levels comes down to being a creative problem solver. And a creative problem solver in real time, always thinking with solutions, always finding different avenues to pursue to get to the end result. And I think when you speak multiple languages and you just think about how to formulate language, how to structure sentences, how to take different approaches to conversation, it gives you more complexity. It gives you a unique advantage. So yeah, my point was, of course, all of those are advantages when looking at hiring somebody, going full circle now. But I would look at hunger, I would look at coachability, and then the sales experience is helpful. And like you said, in the old days, if you had a Rolodex or a network, if you're in medical sales and you know a bunch of doctors you could approach right off the bat and bring them on board, great, that helps. But generally speaking, if we're thinking long term, those aren't the first qualities I would look at.